Hi everyone, I am your free mentor welcoming you all to our geography series of Lucent General Knowledge. Today we will continue with the same thing of facts, and this will be our third and last video on facts. I know facts are a bit difficult for you to remember because these are the new terms, new names, but both concepts and facts are important for exam. As facts are being asked in exams, so I need to make some videos regarding this. After these three videos, we will have our the beautiful part. That is the conceptual part. I bet you will love the conceptual part because you will be able to relate it with your life. You will be able to relate it with your surroundings. You will be able to have greater knowledge about the existence. Fine. So let's get started. We'll start with European geographers. Okay, we have completed in our first series, in our first video about Greek geographers, Roman geographers. In the second video, we have learned about the Indian geographers or Indian contribution in this new study of geography. And today we will study about the European geographers. Fine. If you haven't watched the previous videos, go and watch them. Those are very small videos. Just complete them and come again to this. So, Marco Polo. I know you have heard about the term, heard about this man's name. Marco Polo was a great trade traveler of 13th century who traveled for the first time from Mediterranean to the Pacific Ocean. I'll show you where Mediterranean is, where Pacific Ocean is. But before that, just remember, try to remember, I told you about the Dark Age, 300 to 1200 AD. Those were the Dark Age for Christian countries. After that, and in this duration, we have studied what happened in India and India's contribution in geography. After that comes 13th century. In 13th century, again, he came to this Marco Polo. Fine. So, he was the first. He was the person who traveled for the first time from Mediterranean to Pacific Ocean. Let me show you where Mediterranean is. This is the world map. Okay, this is the political map of our world. Let me make it more easier for you. Okay, one second. This is the map we have. Here you go. Mediterranean Sea is between the European continent and African continent, but the Pacific Ocean is between the American continents and Asian continent. See, you can relate it because the Earth is completely like a globe. After this, if we will go left towards this, or if we will go towards the right, from here we will reach at America, and if we will go towards left, we will come to here, Asia. So between this and this comes Pacific Ocean. This is the Pacific Ocean. Fine, and this is the Mediterranean Sea. So Marco Polo was the first person who traveled from Mediterranean Sea to Pacific Ocean. Fine. So we will have a series of mapping. There I will teach you, or we will learn about the continents, the oceans, and more interesting facts about them. The straits, the isthmus. I'll tell you what straits are, what isthmus is, what is the conceptual thing, the examples, the names, and it will be damn easy for you. Remember, whether it's a technical term or not, I bet you will be the best in geography after completion of this series. Okay, so next, go ahead. Let me. Fine. So next comes Vastu Dhamma. I hope you have come across this term, Vastu Dhamma. Who was Vastu Dhamma? He was the person who discovered the sea route to India with the help of a Gujarati sailor. He reached at Calicut. At the time, Jamarin was the ruler at Calicut. We'll study about it in modern history. No need to worry about it. We'll study about all these things in modern history series. Fine. So in 1497, a famous Portuguese traveler. Let me show you where Portuguese is. Portuguese is in Portuguese or Portugal. Portugal is an European country. I told you above Mediterranean Sea is European continent. Fine. So let me show you another map. This is the Europe. Can you see it? Yeah. I have zoomed that. So here you go. This is Portugal. I am marking here. This is Portugal. This is Spain. This is your United Kingdom. Okay. This is France. Okay. These are the European countries. We'll learn about it. We'll memorize these countries, and this will be a fixed image in your eye. After that, next. Okay. Next, after Vastu Dhamma. What is about Vastu Dhamma? Let us again remember the same facts. In 1497, a famous Portuguese traveler, sailor, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut. I told you, Calicut port in India via Cape of Good Hope. Where is Cape of Good Hope? Cape of Good Hope is at the southernmost point of the American continent. In the map, see again. This is the map of globe. He started his journey from Portugal, means from European continent. From here to reach India, you need to come like this. But at that time, there was no map. At that time, there was no Google map, there was no internet, there was no helicopter, nothing. So he started his journey. He reached here. He thought, yes, I reached India. But later he found that he was wrong. Then again he started his journey and reached here in India. Fine. Next. Next comes a resident of Geneva. Where is Geneva? Again in Switzerland. Okay. I will show you in the mapping session. Geneva is Switzerland. Switzerland is another European country. Okay. This Christopher Columbus discovered America, which was at that time given the name of New World. Today, which is called America, at that time when Christopher Columbus discovered it, it was called as New World. The name of that land was New World, and it was named America after the name of Portuguese traveler Amerigo Vespucci. Earlier it was called as New World. It was named as America after the Portuguese traveler Amerigo Vespucci. Fine. Next, the Portuguese traveler Magellan went around the whole world in 1520 AD. I know some of you have a dream of touring the world. Same, Magellan did the same thing. He toured the whole world in 1520 AD. Next comes the traveler sailor of Holland. Where is Holland? In today's days, there is no country named Holland. It is called as Netherlands. Earlier time, it was called as Holland. Today, it is Netherlands. Again, it falls in the European continent. Holland. The traveler sailor Holland, whose name was Tasman, discovered Tasmania and traveled New Zealand. Tasmania is a island country or island land south to the Australian continent. This is Australia. South to Australia, a land is there, island. This is called Tasmania. Then he went to New Zealand. Where is New Zealand? This is again another island called New Zealand. Fine. Next. This is quite easy to remember. Tasman, the sailor's name, and he reached Tasmania, then New Zealand. The English sailor Captain James Cook travelled round the Antarctic between 1772 and 1775, while Roald Amundsen discovered the South Pole in 1911. He also discovered the Hawaiian island. Why these two things are mentioned in a single point? Because Antarctic. Where it falls? It falls at the southernmost part of the south hemisphere or southern hemisphere, and South Pole is the central point of the southernmost part of the south hemisphere. I'll tell you what is north hemisphere, now what is the southern hemisphere. I think you know, if this is the world, or this is the earth, and the equator divides it equally two parts. This is an imaginary line. The northern part is called as northern hemisphere, the southern part is called as southern hemisphere, and the northernmost point is called as North Pole, and the southernmost point is called as South Pole. Fine. So who reached at South Pole? Roald Amundsen. Who reached at Antarctica first? Captain James Cook. Next, some famous discoveries in the Renaissance period. In modern history also, if you have completed your modern history part, or will read it in modern history series, there was a Renaissance period, but this Renaissance period is not that Renaissance period of India. This is of the world. Printing press or printing was invented in 1470. You need to remember these 5 things, only 5 things. By heart it, remember it, write it, anyway you have to remember. Solar system by Copernicus in 1543. It was discovered by Copernicus. Telescope was invented by Galileo Galilei. Remember this? Telescope was invented by Galileo Galilei. Next comes works on astronomy by Kepler. Next comes spheroid shape of the earth by Newton. Fine. Next, Varenius laid the foundation of the dichotomy of systematic geography and regional geography for the first time. What is dichotomy means? Duality or two branches of the systematic geography. Who laid the foundation for this? Varenius. Next comes, we till now we have come across with some European geographers like from Portuguese, from Netherlands. Now comes German. German is also in the Europe. They are also European geographers. The German geographer Alexander von Humboldt. He is a famous person, a famous geographer in the field of geography. Remember his name. His name is also mentioned in the NCERTs. This is most important. The German geographer Alexander von Humboldt wrote his famous book Cosmos. He had played a great role in the development of cosmology. Humboldt was the first person who gave an idea to construct a canal across the Panama Isthmus. I told you the term isthmus. I told you there are some terms relating to the mapping or the geography. Isthmus, strait. Okay. Let me tell you in brief. Isthmus is a narrow land route which connects, or landway which connects to two greater land masses. Like if you can see, or if you can see in your atlas, we'll show you. This is North America. This is South America. There is a narrow land route which connects to these huge land masses, and this is called isthmus. Fine. This is called isthmus. Another term, strait. What is strait? I told you, narrow water line. See, narrow waterway between India and Sri Lanka. This is called strait. Next, it's mentioned about isthmus. Isthmus of what? Where is it? Isthmus of Panama. Same, I showed you. Isthmus of Panama is between America, or Northern America and Southern America, and Panama, there is a country Panama in the Central America. That's why the name of that country Isthmus, Panama Isthmus. Humboldt, Alexander von Humboldt coined the term climatology and permafrost. Permafrost meaning permanently frozen in geography. he coined these terms. He was the first to depict the isotherms. Isotherms meaning? Isotherm is a meteorological term. It means an isogram connecting points having the same temperature at a given time. Fine. He was the first to depict the isotherms on the map. Due to such a great contribution, Humboldt is called the father of climatology. He is called as the father of modern geography. At the same time, he is called as the father of vegetation geography. That's why I told you Alexander von Humboldt. Remember the name, remember the German geographer's name. He is most important. At the same time, he is the father of climatology, father of modern geography, father of vegetation geography. Next. Ratchell is considered as the father of political geography. I told you there are many branches of geography. Ratchell is called as father of political geography and human geography. His famous book is Anthropogeography. Have you heard about the term anthropology? Anthropology is a study about origin and social relationship of human beings. Political geography, human geography, everything relates to human. Remember it like that. I told you to correlate things. This is the correlation. Fine? Ratchell was a German geographer who considered as the father of political geography, human geography. His famous book is Anthropogeography. In this book, his thoughts are identical with Darwinian theory. Have you heard about the Darwinian theory? The famous statement, survival of the fittest. Okay, same thing. In this book, his thoughts are identical with the Darwinian theory of evolution. Ratchell is also the father of Lebensraum concept. What is Lebensraum? Lebensraum is the exact geographical region where different species evolve. In his political geography, he compared the state with the organism and held that expansion of boundary is a need to fulfill natural biological need. This is his theory. Fine. Next comes the French geographers. French geographer Vidal de la Blasse. Vidal de la Blasse was the founder of positivism. He is considered to be the real founder of the human geography. Who is the founder of who is the father of human geography? Ratchell. At the same time, if the question comes and option is there, Vidal de la Blasse, he is also the father of human geography. Don't worry, there will never be two names of the two fathers in a same question. There in your exam, either Vidal de la Blasse will be given or Ratchell will be given in those four options. Next comes the British geographer Mackinder. He is another famous geographer. Mackinder. He gave the famous concept of political geography, the heartland theory. His theory, called the heartland theory, was more popular. In his famous book, Democratic Ideals and Reality. His famous book, Democratic Ideals and Reality, he mentioned about his theory, heartland theory. He told in that theory, one who reigns in the Eastern Europe will control the heartland. I showed you the European continent where it falls. One who reigns in the Eastern Europe will control the heartland. Who is saying this? Mackinder. One who reigns in heartland will be able to determine the circumference of the heartland and will have control over the continent, and one who reigns in the continent controls the whole world. Next comes American geographer Carl Otwin Sauer is considered the father of cultural geography, another branch of geography. And the last one, the British geographer Herbertson has divided the world into 15 natural regions on the basis of what? On the basis of mutual relation between physical features, climates and vegetation. Therefore, he is considered as the first person who studied the natural geography. And here it ends the facts part of geography. From the next session or from the next video, we'll study about the conceptual part. Okay, thank you.